Hello, this is W.A. Waking the second. I figured I would just introduce myself a little bit and at least tell you who I am. I am a hit and run warrior who was in a accident and left for dead. And instead of deciding to give up on life, I decided to go ahead and find something I could do. Due to the various things going on with me and my body and even myself, closed head injury after the accident, I still wanted to give to society. So what I decided to do was work with amazing builders and contractors to create EVG 3D homes. And these homes are basically able to stand up to, they stood up to over 200 mile per hour winds and very turbulent conditions. The walls are load bearing. If the whole house floods out, you don't have the problem of having to rip out your drywall if your home floods. And it took me a really long time to even find this style of home because I've always loved homes ever since I was a child. My mom took me to I don't know if everyone's familiar, in the Detroit, Michigan area, there's a place called Boston Edison that is very well known for its historic home tours and the amazing architecture in those tours. And I would always go on those tours and just enjoy the homes and the way the homes were built and just the way everything was constructed in just that classic strong home. And I wanted to do that. I used to sell homes, and then I realized I'm actually selling homes that now don't stand up to the actual code of what we need, at least it seems in the area of America, and really in the world. If you have any area that happens to have any wind that blows at all, or if your walls can get wet, then you don't even you need EVG 3D. It's a very strong structure. Man, I want to just toot. It's not about just buying something from me. It's about making sure that whenever you do get your home, wherever you do construct your home, you make sure your home can withstand and handle the area that you're planning to put your home in. A lot of these people say they don't want to buy a new construction home. Well, I want to just mention something. A new construction home is really just a new old home. It's just a home that's newly built, that's older. However, at least if you do buy the newer construction home, you know that it's made for the code that you're moving into the area for. A lot of the codes have changed in building over the years, and some of these homes, structures, buildings, are not really made for the areas they're built in, or at least the weather is no longer coherent for the weather where they're built in. And even if the weather is fantastic, you never know when you might have something like a tree fall. There was an unfortunate situation and my heart just broke because there was a child, and I forgot the city it was, somewhere in Michigan, where the unfortunate child passed because the actual tree had fallen, and it just came through, and the child didn't survive because of the falling tree. And it's just that there are some things out there, and there are builders, not just me. There are not, and I'm not a builder. I work with builders, and there are companies out there that build a home that will withstand whatever you're living for in that area. You want to make sure that the home you're building in your area withstands the code in your area. If your area is changing, then with your home, see if there's any upgrades you can do to make your home more cold worthy. You can upgrade the windows. You can upgrade your roof. You can upgrade your dooring. And if you're in flooding areas, I saw something amazing online, and I'll include the link. It was these company by the name of Garrison, and they happen to have these flood barriers where it would save people amazing amounts of money. I know there were some floods that actually came up over 10 and 12 feet, and there are systems to protect you for that as well. However, there are something called a Garrison flood barrier, and they're these really interesting pieces that look like they would just tip over. However, because of how they were made, they lock together and they hold the water to quite a decent height. And a lot of people are losing $30,000-$40,000 of their home and their beds and their sofas when the actual flood comes through. And sometimes some of this can be averted. I don't want to disrespect anybody who lives in a flood area and lost their things to flood. However, if you're living in a flood area and you lose your things to flood, or perhaps lost the things to flood before, it's time to do something different. Doing the same thing constantly over and over and over again is what they see as insanity. So you need to do something different. Find some kind of you don't know exactly how high the flood waters may go. However, if you've been in a great situation where your structure is pretty high already, and in a zoned area that might not even be a flood zone, and just because of the amazing water that came through, it became a flood zone. You can actually get these Garrison flood. They're red. Well, they probably come in different colors. The ones I saw were red. These red barriers that literally sit, and when the water hits them, it holds them. And you can save your home, you can save your memories, you can save your time, you can give yourself peace of mind. Not mentioning the fact that when that water goes through your home changes. Now you literally have to rip out all of everything that got moist and throw it away. And you still don't even think about the fact that the moisture now, even the part that you ripped out, the so-called got wet, where you see the flood line, you're not thinking about the amazing moisture that's now soaked up into all your walls because of that sitting water. That's just another factor. You have a lot of factors that affect you when you have that issue of water coming into a home. So you want to make sure, and at least do your best. You can't make sure of anything. Just do your best to create a flood barrier, so when the water hits, if it comes close to your home, it won't affect your home, and you won't lose things. I saw a lot of people with just a few inches of water, or maybe about 4 or 5 inches of water in their home, and my heart just broke, because I was like, wow, those systems I've seen actually would help out a lot. And some of my upcoming videos, I'll even show some of the other videos through a link of how they've actually stopped water. I'll even show the websites. I don't think they'd mind, because I'm actually promoting them. I hope not. We'll find out. And give people different ways to, if your home is already, let's say, flood ready, hurricane ready. Not saying nothing will ever happen to the home. It's just that you want to at least have a home that will withstand 150, 160 miles an hour and in Florida, actually 180 miles an hour, to make sure your home is above code, so that you can actually live in your home and have a peace of mind. That's what you want. Peace of mind living in your home. So you want to do for them, your family, your friends, your associates, when they come by, you want to make sure you're inviting all your family, friends, and associates into a healthy home. Because you don't know how much the actual elements can seep in. And I'm someone who, when I was younger, I actually had a situation where I had asthma attacks, and I had never had asthma attacks before, and all of a sudden I started having these breathing issues, and I was on an inhaler. I supposedly had bronchitis, and then praise God, praise God, praise God, I was healed, and I've been blessed to not have to deal with an inhaler or that big long plastic thing I used to have to carry around, and the little small inhaler. I know what it's like about that, living with one of those, and worrying if you actually left it at home, or worrying if it might not be full. So you want to do the best to give your breathing system less of a, we want to make it easier on yourself. And I know at least for EVG 3D, it's a little bit easier on yourself because the walls are concrete, the insulation is polystyrene, the actual structures that the home is built with are steel, and that gives you mold resistant. The home is 25 to 30% cooler in hotter climates, 25-30% warmer in colder climates, and the home just withstands a lot. And it's a beautiful thing that gets stronger for over 100 years. The EVG 3D is basically like a panel, and you take the panel and you continue on the next video.